You see a lot of like conservatives, those people that voted from there, like, man, he's fucked. He's not doing what he said he was gonna do. Dude, yes, he is. He's like, back in the day, I wasn't a fan, so I had to like look into him.
Nice.
Especially when, people were saying he's a racist, he's this and that. So, okay, I went out, started looking, right? I started looking, I bought some of his books, The Art of the Deal,
That's a great book.
Yeah, I've read it like 10, 20 times and stuff, right? And, dude, he's been consistent with his messaging since the 80s.
Yep.
The 90s. Like, everything he says is what he's doing. He's like, he's never
I've never
backtracked.
seen evidence of him being racist.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he dated a black chick, man.
Oh,
how
okay.
how can you be racist dating a black dude? He was in the studios with Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Like, I've seen these videos and I'm just like, dude, come on. Like, I know I've seen some racism and shit, man. Yeah, he's not a racist. He's just, he don't like fucking stupid people, man. Like,
You know what? I don't even know your fucking real name. I just know you as the Black Spider-Man.
oh, Hugo or Remo.
Hugo is a good fucking name.
Yeah, I'd give you the full name, but most people, they can't say it. They have a hard time saying it, so.
All right, Hugo's Disco. I like that. So as we discussed prior to coming in here, I don't know too much about you. So if you were to summarize who you are, who would you say you are?
Navy veteran, Jiu-Jitsu, 3rd degree black belt, world champion, Pan American world champion, and very opinionated individual.
Yeah. I dig that. Let's start with, as we were talking about your history in martial arts, MMA. How did that start? Why and how old were you?
So I started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 2003. And the interesting story with that is the only reason I got into it was because I almost got jumped, all right? So I had just gotten out of the military and I moved back to Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
But I moved to this place called Kingwood, Humble area, right?
Okay.
And so back in the day, like this place was like kind of like a little bit racist, racist a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Just keeping it real. So I went to this bar. It was like a local bar. It was my first day there, right? And this short little white boy, right, comes up to me. I'm just minding my own business, sitting at the bar, just having a drink. And he comes up to me, he's like, boy, what you doing here? Like, just like that. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want no trouble. Cause I could already see how it was going and stuff. He had like three or four of his friends and stuff, right? And I was just like, look, I don't want no trouble, no nothing, right? I'm just here having a good time, just chilling. And he's holding his bottle and I'm thinking, man, I'm about to get jumped.
He's gonna smash it.
Yeah. And so I always carry, a pocket knife with me. Right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, long story short, when that happened, luckily the DJ stopped the whole thing and,
right.
They got those people out, right? But I felt like I needed to find a way to defend myself.
So you had in the military, they offer no kind of training like that?
No, I mean, you got to be like a Marine or something like that. Like, we got into fights and stuff.
Yeah.
But, it's more like, just regular fighting and stuff. Like the only thing you learn how to do is, shoot,
Okay. I thought there would be hand-to-hand combat training.
No, that's if you're a Marine or Army and stuff. And even then, back then, I was in the 90s and stuff.
Right.
Navy doesn't get that kind of, unless you're doing like SEAL training or something like that. But I just felt I needed something more. All right. So that's when I talked to some friends, and that's when they recommended Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay. Well, actually, they recommended kickboxing, Muay Thai. They said you'd be good at like Muay Thai and stuff.
It's good for stand-up for sure.
Yeah, so I looked for a Muay Thai school out in Humble, and that's when I found a school that taught Muay Thai. So I did the kickboxing class, the Muay Thai class and stuff. And then they convinced me, this one female instructor at the time, right? She convinced me into staying for the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stuff. I didn't know what was going on.
How humbling was that?
Yeah, it was humbling. My first row, I rode with this guy, Robert, right? Robert Solis, 125 pounds. I was about 184 at the time, but, I used to be able to bench press 345, right? I was strong like an ox back then, but, real skinny. So, and I always thought I was tough. This kid got me in a rear naked choke within like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Choked me out unconscious.
He knocked, wow.
Yeah, choked me out. I was like.
Why, because you didn't know about tapping?
Well, I mean, he's, they tell you to tap and stuff, but I was just like, man, I'm not punking out, I'm like,
Oh, yeah, you
this
fucked yourself then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, ain't no fucking way I'm going to tap to this little 125-pound little
It's humbling,
kid.
bro.
So once they woke me up, I was like, okay. I was like, it's on.
Yeah.
And over 23 years later, still doing it.
Yeah. Love it, man. It's funny. My instructor said, and he says this to me all the time, who you are on the mat, his name's Martin Peru, who you are on the mat is who you are off the mat.
Yeah.
And that's a very poignant statement. If you're quick to tapping, if you're quick to giving up, if you give in here, that's the man you're going to be out there.
Yeah.
If you conduct yourself with honor here and discipline, that's the man you'll be off the mat. And he's 100% right.
Yeah, amazing. I agree with that.
And you just do jits now, or do you do any kind of stand-up or wrestling?
So when I first started off and stuff, I was doing Muay Thai. I was doing Filipino martial arts.
Me too, brother. Kali?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Knife, sticks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. Fuck. I did Kali for 5-6 years.
Yeah, I did it for about 8.5 years.
Nice.
And then I just stuck to the Muay Thai and, got into competing heavily in Jiu-Jitsu and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did one pro MMA fight. But, because of, what I did, because of Jiu-Jitsu, right, it's like a small little circle, especially like back weight win and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, it changed my life around. Like I used to be like a functional alcoholic. Like I used to drink all the time, but because of, having to compete.
Yeah.
Right. You couldn't be drunk.
No. But there is a lot of motherfuckers competing high now.
Oh, yeah. That's the big thing.
Yeah. It's interesting because they claim that it doesn't affect you. In fact, some people say it's an advantage because you're very relaxed. It's I've never done it high, so I can't speak to that. But when you say you were a functional alcoholic, was that a result of coming from the Navy, or just that's what you did?
Yeah, I started drinking in the military. A lot of people don't know the military turns out a lot of alcoholics.
Okay.
Right. Because there's a lot of things that happen. I'm not going to get into it, but during my stint towards the end of my, I tried to, do the unthinkable. Right.
Okay.
And that's why I eventually, I got out. Right.
Right. Okay.
But, and that's where a lot of it stemmed from my,
So it was a coping mechanism.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I didn't see war.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of things that kind of fucked me up, right?
Okay.
So, I turned to alcohol. But jiu-jitsu saved my life.
You're the second person in recent weeks. There's so with Perfect Sports, the brand we were talking about, we have a fighter named Jade. And she came from a fucked up background, like just a horrible history. And she actually said the same thing, that martial arts saved her life.
Yeah. And
now she competes in bare knuckle championship, the BKFC. She was just on that card with Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey, and she was on that card. So I personally believe that everybody, regardless of your age, should study martial arts.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think it turns you into the best version of yourself.
I think everybody too, not to discount, the like the military. I think everybody graduating out of high school too should serve at least 3 to 4 years in the military too.
Okay, why do you think that?
Military taught me, coming out of high school, I was a lazy kid. I got into a lot of trouble.
Okay.
But because of the military and all the things I experienced in it, like it changed my mindset. It made me more like I stopped being late to things, right? I was always 15 minutes prior, like even to this day, right? I'm always on time. Like I was on time.
Yeah, you were fucking here before us.
Yeah. Teaches a lot of discipline, right? And it teaches you to, if you're going to do something, to put in that work. And
keep your fucking word.
Yeah. So,
and I think that's lacking in today's generation. Yeah. We just talked about it in the last fucking podcast. I think we're establishing a generation of weak people that are okay with being just okay.
Yeah.
And we're celebrating victimhood. And I think that's all just horrible for the development of the best version of yourself.
Yeah, they're ruining the world, man. These weak beta males and shit.
Yeah. And those are the loudest motherfuckers in the room, though.
Yeah.
It annoys the shit out of me. But in masses, those fuckers are quite brave. Our last guest said something about the fact that he believes there's only two genders, and a group got together and fucked his life up. They burned his porch, dude.
What?
Yep. They fucking burned his porch. They ruined his business. They went, and I don't, if that's just, even if you disagree with his opinion, it's just his opinion. But because you have these weak fucking people that, form this sort of group mentality, and all of a sudden they're a lot fucking braver than they are one-on-one, and they operate from the shadows, so you can't really find them. And they just do some horrible shit. The guest I had yesterday, bro, they fucking, let me just say this. So they threatened him, saying that he wants to come into his house, tie him up, kill his two dogs, and make him watch him kill the two dogs. So this gentleman yesterday, Jake Ryan, found out who this person was. It was a 14-year-old fucking kid, right? That kid needs some fucking damage done to him, right? Yeah. Like, if you have a problem with me, fucking talk to me. Let's sort it out. But for you to, attack my woman, attack my dogs, buddy, we're going to have a fucking discussion.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things with social media. And I see, you see it a lot, man. Like, I get death threats all the time and stuff, man.
My God, dude. The guy just before you said he gets constant death threats. Yeah. The guy yesterday, Jake Ryan, because he's gay, right? So automatically he's a fucking target. He gets death threats. You're not a weak looking dude. Like that fucking photo of you ripped and shit, and the fact that you're a fucking black belt jiu-jitsu. Who the fuck would try and pick a fight with you?
And I stay strapped. But it's just social media. Everybody can sit behind a keyboard. All right, everybody's I'm a warrior. They're so tough.
Yeah,
they're in your face, right? I could count, like, dude, if I could count every single person, right, who's threatened me online, right, dude, I'd be like Bill Gates rich and shit, man. But over the years, but it's easy for them, right?
But do you not think that speaks to the mentality of today's youth? And I shouldn't even say youth, because I've been fucking older gentleman tries to pick a fight with me. I'm like, I will fold you like a shirt.
Yeah.
But I think it stems from the fact that we are losing honor and respect, because I would never think of conducting myself in that kind of manner.
Yeah.
So I think we are doing ourselves a disservice by allowing society to head in the direction that it does.
Yeah, it's a certain mindset. And then, it's because all these kids are being groomed. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see it. They're being fucking groomed, man. And it starts with the teachers, the schools.
Oh, yeah. But Texas is a red state, isn't it?
Yeah, but the cities, man, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, they're blue. They're blue.
Oh, I did hear that about Houston.
Yeah, it's I live in a good part of Houston, right? It's a better side of Houston. So it's away from all the bullshit, right?
Right.
But still, it's like when you go in there, you still got to be careful, right? When you're going into Houston, but you see it, right? You'll see like fucking homeless people, like, and I think to myself, like, I don't have nothing against people who are, down and out and shit, right? But
depending on why they are.
Yeah, exactly. But you can clean it out. It wasn't as bad, right? But I noticed over the years, because of the people being elected, all right, it's just progressively just getting worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Agreed.
Beta, weak ass fucking judges and shit, man.
Yeah. What's because right now I'm Canadian for another few months.
My condolences.
Oh, brother. Yeah. Didn't you fucking shit talk Canada recently on one of your posts?
I don't know. I post a lot of stuff, right? So,
right. I think you did something about shit talking, and then you talked about how some of the verses in the Bible are going to be banned. Canada is fucked, dude. Like when I talk to a lot of American guests and they talk about how bad things are, I'm like, hold my beer, bitch, because you fucking don't have an idea.
Yeah.
It's so strict. We're just passing an online harms act in Canada, right? So what the Liberal government can do is, if they don't like what you're saying, they can either first remove your internet, fine you, or put you in jail. Yeah, for something you said. There was a gentleman in Nova Scotia who said something about the Holocaust, and all he said was he doesn't believe the deaths were as high as they're claiming. Motherfucker went to prison.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Can you imagine going to fucking prison for that? What are you in for? Murder. What are you in for? I said something nasty on the internet.
Fuck, man. That's the same shit they're doing in the UK.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly what's happening.
Man.
Yeah. So what do you do when you get death threats?
Now, I usually just block them and report them. Like back in the day, I would try, I would use that as content, right? So, I started building my brand through MySpace.
Oh, dude, that's ancient.
Yeah. I had a big following on MySpace. So I started back in 2001, January 2001.
Yeah.
All right. Built it to like 8 months. I had over 100,000 like MySpace friends.
Was MySpace ever monetized?
Nah, I never. No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't believe it ever was.
No, there was no way to monetize it. There was the first website or platform that banned me. Like they took, I got to about 500,000.
Wow.
In 2006, early 2006, and then they took my account.
Why?
I posted a 10-minute video, right? There was this guy, I don't know if you ever remember this video. There was this guy, and he was gay. No offense to the gays, don't come for me, right? I'm cool with him. But he made a video talking about leave Britney alone, right? And so someone sent me that video, and I took like 2 minutes of it or whatever.
You got fucked for copyright infringement.
No. I took 2 minutes of it, right? Then I added another 8 minutes where I'm just talking shit. I'm just clowning, right? You can see the full video on my YouTube, right? But so I just talk shit, just joking and sarcasm, right? That's what I just humor, right? But he reported me, right? He had a big following and stuff, so I had a big following too. But he reported me for they got me for harassment and bullying, and
I get that a lot too.
Yeah. And so MySpace just took my account, no warning, no nothing. They just sent me the email. You were reported by the owner of the video for harassment and bullying. And they took my account.
Yeah, there's a gentleman that was on the podcast and news for real. Is that it? News for real?
Yeah.
Real news for you?
No, news for real.
Right. So what happened to him, it was on Instagram.
Yeah.
He took a clip from somebody and he was mocking the guy the same way. The guy hit him up for copyright infringement, and IG pulled his account. He had to pay that guy to speak to IG to release the hold. So the guy fucking basically held him hostage. You want your account back? You got to pay me. And he didn't give me the number, but it was significant.
Like, I don't
in
know.
The tens of thousands.
Yeah, I wouldn't have paid that shit. Fuck that.
But when you for you being an American, IG is not monetized, but let's just say your Facebook account, because I saw your post saying you have over 500,000 followers. So you're monetized.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to lose that, you'd be pissed.
Now I've lost it, and there's I've been banned on every platform I've been on twice, every single one of them.
And you just start up again.
No. I get my account back.
Oh, okay.
Like IG's banned me twice, permanently taking my account, gone. Right.
Okay.
That's why I had to make a backup account. Right. But it took me the first time they banned me. It was back in 2016. All of these platforms banned me the first time: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like 2016, 2017. I was getting my accounts taken. YouTube took my account in 2017.
I lost my TikTok recently for something a guest said. Fucking ant, right? Yeah, he said something about the gay community, the LGBT, how he feels that they're the extension of all the other fucking letters in the alphabet is hijacking what the true intention of the LGB was.
Yeah.
And because he said it, they pulled my account. Fucking gone. Not even a warning. See you. Fuck you. Bye. Yeah.
You got to keep appealing it, because I've been permanently banned on TikTok twice.
Okay.
Main account.
And you just kept appealing and they finally give it back?
It takes a while. Like, so Facebook took me the first time 6 months. Second time it took me 2.5 months. Twitter was longest. It took me 7 months the first time. Second time was 6.5 months. That's when Elon bought it.
Yeah.
They took my account. IG twice, YouTube twice. YouTube was the shortest amount of time it took me to get it back and stuff. The only sites I've never been, like TikTok. TikTok, you got to appeal. Just keep appealing until they give it back.
I got a strike against me yesterday because a guest, A Smarts, was talking about he would be, as a youth, he had a bad youth. Yeah. So he would sell drugs. And he said that he went to a party He stole the drugs that were there and then sold them back to the guys that were there. And in the post, we talk about how, though he says those poor decisions led me to my incarceration. But whoever on fucking IG decided that that was promoting selling drugs. Bitch, are you dumb? He said it was those bad decisions that led me to go to prison. How was that? Unless your goal is to go to prison, I don't see how that's encouraging the selling of drugs.
Yeah, that's bullshit, man. They got too much power, too much fucking powers on these platforms. And
right.
stuff.
And when I appealed it, instantly it came back. We're keeping the post removed. It follows. It perpetuates the selling of drugs, and that was it. So it wasn't even someone actually looked at it. It was a fucking bot that saw the words drug and selling, and they yanked it. It's just the one post, but it is a strike against me.
Yeah, you got to go. It's a headache. You know, a lot of people don't have the persistence. Like me, I'm a veteran, right? So I don't got shit to do. You know, it's like I can be on the toilet and still appealing and everything and stuff. And
so my editor is appealing it now.
Yeah,
for me, it's just the principle of being fucking wrong.
Yeah, it's annoying, man. It's annoying. Like sometimes, man, like what they do, especially if you get your account back, right, on any of the platforms, then they shadow ban your your views.
I know a number of creators right now that are, just, again, especially Canadian content creators that are speaking out against the government, just their feed is so diminished, right? And I thought, well, okay, if I was a business, I would probably not want to pay out as much money as I was paying out. So I'm going to shadow ban you. I'm going to reduce your feed. And instead of I've had some guys say that, instead of making $8,000 to $10,000 a month, they're dropping it down to $2,000.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with Facebook and stuff. Like last year, I was making a grip, and then they cut it. Like I got some violation on some video from 4 years ago or something.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, and we just got to keep going, man. That's what I always tell people and stuff, man. Their job is to make it hard for us to do what we do.
Yeah, I know. And my back automatically gets up when somebody tells me not to do something. And I don't know if that's for example, during COVID, I automatically resisted COVID, all the bullshit, simply because you motherfuckers are telling me, get the shot. No, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right? Wear a mask. Suck my dick. Yeah. Right? Walk 6 feet. Follow these fucking arrows on the floor. And I just yeah.
You know what's funny with that? Especially 2020 was a eye opener, right?
Yes, it was.
Up and stuff. When it first came out, especially with C-19 or the COVID, I thought it was a joke. I'm laughing. I'm like, man, you actually gonna put on that mask and shit. I would make these spoof videos and shit where I'm just like, hey, look at me, I'm wearing my mask and shit, right? And then you go into the store, you see people literally conform and then I knew this is when I started understanding that this shit is about to go insane. I just got done working out, all right? I went to the gym or went to the store, all right? I always go to the store after I get done working out to get all my food and stuff to prep for the week. Yep. So I go to this H-E-B, right? It's in Kingwood, right? Anyway, so I walk into this H-E-B, right? And I had a little bit of it was allergies and stuff, right? It wasn't nothing. And I just came from the gym, right? So I sneezed, all right, and I'm not wearing my mask, right? This was back early days, right? Early before they really started pushing it.
Did they shut the gyms in Texas?
Brief, yeah.
Yeah, dude, our gyms in Canada, they fucking shut down children's playgrounds outside. They shut them down. There's fucking tape around them.
Yeah, they started doing some of that crap, but I didn't. So, this guy I sneezed. This guy saw me. Paranoid motherfucker, right? He comes up to me. He's like, you need to leave, right? People are dying, just losing his shit. And I'm just looking at him thinking, am I being punked or some shit? Is this a joke? And I'm like, man, dude, it's allergies, man. It'll be all right? And they had a police officer there. So he comes up and shit, and everyone's watching, all right? They're gathering and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, this ain't real, man. Is this real? And I'm laughing, I'm finding it humorous, right? Because I'm like, this dude is not, he's joking. He's got to be joking, right? The cop's like, hey, you're probably going to have to leave, man, and just, I train, I teach a lot of police officers and stuff. And so, I always try to be respectful. I'm not one of those,
I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I was just like, you for real? Like, dude, it's allergies, man. I'm trying to, it's like, well, just for everyone's safety and this and that. I was like, okay. So I started walking out and I'm filming myself, and I'm putting it on TikTok, Clapper, all of this stuff. I'm just like, dude, they just kicked me out of HEB because I didn't have on a fucking mask.
Yeah.
Man. Damn, this is about to get serious. And then I remember, and I was just like, wow. And that's when it just started going.
I say this all the time, right? That to me was the greatest example of the weakness that exists in society, that we were so quick to fucking tap out. I was so disappointed in people.
Yeah.
I still trained every day. My fucking coach was like, fuck it, come in the back door. We're still going to train.
Yeah, we were training, and then they came in, they had, what were the fire marshals or whatever, right? They were doing the inspection. So they come to the gym, and they were telling us we needed to wear a fucking mask when we were training.
Yeah.
We're like, what? You see what the fuck we're doing, dude? The owner of the school, this guy, Roy Davis, right? He was just like, I had to keep him from losing his shit. He was about to fight the fire marshal. I'm just like, dude, calm down, man. You could arrest
But
you.
at least you were allowed to be open. In Canada, gyms were shut down, man. Like not even you can work out with masks. That came later, right? But you couldn't do it there was a long period of time. And again, a lot of people use the gym as a release. Going to church for some people is a release.
Yeah.
They shut all that shit down.
That's crazy how they would shut down the gyms, right? But the bars would be open.
The liquor store was open.
It's good to go. Hey, the bar, liquor store, you can have Walmart was open. You have lines of people, man, just lined up. And I was just thinking, like, this is stupid. Right?
But you were to say that, that was a really quick way to get pulled from social media.
Yeah, I was getting hit left and right, man. And I was just like, I tried to toe the line, but that's when I lost my shit. And then you get the dementia patient, right, for us, right, in America. And we had to deal with this guy, right, who clearly, I used to practice OT, right, in occupational therapy.
Okay.
So it's a lot of like psychology and stuff like that.
Cool.
But it's kind of like PT, But anyway, so I used to work with geriatric patients in nursing homes, right?
Mm.
So I could see dementia. So when, JB, right, Joe Biden, right, I could see all the symptoms of dementia, right? 2020. And I'm looking at this.
Wow.
Yeah. That was one of the things that led me to get my first ban on TikTok. All right. Because at the time I started my TikTok account in February of 2020. Within a couple of months, by June, I had 120-something thousand, right?
Damn.
Yeah. And everything was good. And then I made this video that went viral like a motherfucker. And it was just like, I was talking about, look at this motherfucker, man. Dude can't even speak. You want this guy to be president? Like I went off, right, for like a minute, right? And dude, it got like duetted like 20-something thousand times. Like it was just going, right? Insane,
nice.
Right? People were using the voice, the audio and stuff. And and then next thing I go to log in, your stuff's banned, right? Your account's taken, da-da-da-da-da. You can download your data, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? That's when I went to work. That's when Real Huck, man, hit me up and stuff about this app, Clapper. That's what I was telling you.
Yeah, you're telling me. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, you got to check it out. So
let's go back to the martial arts and the training and how you were saying that you've trained with a number of, or your school club trains a lot of MMA fighters, a lot of people that have gone to the UFC, and you've rolled with them.
Yeah.
What do you think of the UFC nowadays, by the way?
I mean, I don't really watch it. Like I watch UFC 250, right?
Of course.
It was an awesome card. I thought, like Justin Gaethje, man, he put on a hell of a performance. But it's not how it used to be. Like, I'm like old school, back in the day, we used to do like UFC parties and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go to a bar, you go to someone's house or something like that. Everything was set up. You knew you had like a deep connection with all the fighters and stuff. And then just over time, maybe because I've gotten older and stuff, and my focus isn't, what it used to be. Like I like watching a fight from time to time, but it's not like I gotta see a UFC fight.
I agree.
So I think the caliber of fighters has evolved, because everyone's skill set now you have to be well rounded.
100.
It's good. I love the way the sports have evolved, but it's, for me, my focus is elsewhere now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
It's strange because, I started training in karate when I was 15. And it was like, there was a division of everybody. I take karate, I take kung fu, I take judo, I take this. And it was always, what I liked about it was, let's see whose style is better.
Yeah.
And now it's just strictly, everyone's well-versed in everything. You got to have a striking game for the most part.
Yeah.
You got to have wrestling and you got to have jits.
Yeah.
And then, so it's not unless that is a style. When you've combined, if you want to call it MMA, that's the style now. But there was just something very cool about whose style is better.
Better, yeah.
Is my kung fu better than your karate?
Well, George St. Pierre, man, he was
Love
the
him.
one. Yeah, he was the one that started the whole thing, the evolution of the one athlete, right? You got to be everything. I mean, he did wrestling, he did, the weight training, he put it all together, karate, everything.
Yeah, I believe he did Kyokushin karate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a pure martial artist.
And very respectful. He never indulged in the shit talking and I get it, right? Like, I understand that a lot of the viewers who watch the UFC get into the theatrics and the shit talking and everything. To me, coming from traditional martial arts, it was always to me about respect and honor.
Yeah.
And because you stated earlier that you believe that kids should come out of high school and serve 3 years in the military. I got that ingrained characteristics of just honor and respect from martial arts, right?
Yeah.
Being in a traditional karate school, my teacher would, like, if you swore, you got fucked up, right?
Oh, shit.
And if you were late for class, you're doing 100 push-ups. It was all about respect, and I think we're losing that, unfortunately, for society. And I think that's a shame.
Yeah, I agree.
Carmelo Anthony, what's your thoughts?
Oh, man, I knew you were going to ask me this, man.
Yeah.
How'd I know? Like, my thought is, and I've been in some of these TikTok lives and stuff, spaces and stuff, where this is what they debate all day long and stuff, right? My thoughts are, if it was two black kids, it wouldn't even be an issue. It wouldn't be an issue at all.
I agree.
It wouldn't even made the news.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a bleep, because that happens all the time. But because Austin Metcalf was white.
Yep.
So now it's a big deal. Now it's race.
Yep.
And to me, it had nothing to do with race. That's just my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
I think, he's getting 35 years. To me, a life should be worth more than that.
I agree.
I don't give a fuck that the fact that he was he was a kid and stuff. So he fucked up, And the only way you can make sure that people don't make the same mistakes, you got to set examples.
Fucking right. And somebody was telling me that he'll be out in half that time.
Yeah, he'll be out in like 20 years or something, right?
Yeah.
Good behavior, all of this stuff. And, he'll be able to live his life. But, Austin, his life is gone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's like, you got, black, like me, I was born in Nigeria.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
So I came to America when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
Right. So I wasn't growing up, my dad, my mom, they never told me, hey, man, they never told me that you're oppressed and all of this crap, shit, man. My ancestors probably sold some slaves and stuff, right? And so I never had that mentality like, okay, I can't be successful in life because I'm black, because of my skin tone and stuff, right?
Yep.
So I always, if I wanted something, even to this day, right, I bust my ass to work for it. And if I don't succeed, if I don't get what I want, it's nobody to blame. It's not going to be the white man that I got to worry about or blame and stuff, right? It's me, right? The man in the mirror. So looking at the case, man, you got too many people, right, who they need someone to blame.
Yep.
Instead of taking personal accountability.
But isn't that life though, dude? Right? Isn't it easier to say, I'm not successful because of you? I'm not successful because of somebody else. I'm fat because of that person. I'm an emotional eater. It's very easy to put the blame on other people as opposed to taking responsibility for yourself. And what I think is great about that is that and I just literally said this fucking an hour ago.
Yeah.
If I fucked my life up, I have the power to unfuck my life up. But I totally disagree with that whole victim mentality. to take a race of, say, Black people to say you're oppressed, you're victims. You're never going to be anything, but that's okay. It's not your fault. How the fuck is that a powerful message? How about, because I think we can agree that everybody in life to some degree has more advantages or disadvantages than other people.
Yeah.
But if we could go to the youth today and say, listen, brother, you could be whatever you want. It may not be easy, but if you're fucking disciplined and you keep going and moving forward, that you're going to get it. I think that's that's a better fucking message to say, bro, you're Black. It's okay. You're not going to be much, but it's the white man's fault. I think that's a bullshit message.
But if you think about it, they don't want people to think like that, because if people think like that, then they're going to realize, hey, shit, we don't need the government, man. We don't need.
Which is precisely the means of control that they want, right?
Yeah.
Right. This whole fucking gender ideology bullshit. It's just a means of creating division, right? You have the transgenders, and you have the Sith, you have the mask wearers, the vaccinated, the Black, white. It's a way of keeping groups of people that don't want to agree with other people because I've been taught to hate you.
Yeah.
And that way we can't come together and say, maybe my problem isn't with you. Maybe my problem is with the fucking government or some other group that seems to be controlling us. They don't want that. It's much better to keep everyone divided. And again, I think that's a fucking horrible way to live.
Man, it sucks, man. I think about that all the time. I'm just like, and then people are like, man, what's the solution and stuff?
I get that too.
Yeah, and I try to break it down logically, right? I'm like, the solution is, right, focus on yourself, personal growth, development. And that's one of the things that, I've learned, since 2017, I had like one of the worst like breakups, and I suffered like panic attacks. Like it was crazy. I'm not going to go into it, but that was when I woke up. That was when I started like reading. That's when I started learning, right? Mm-hmm. Personal growth, development and stuff like that. And then that's when I discovered and I came to the realization that, right, if every single person, right, if you wanted to fix the world's issues, the problems, right, that we got in the entire world, right, if everybody focused on themselves, became better, right, grew better personally, like physically, emotionally, spiritually, right? Mentally, right? Just worked on yourself. That's it. You just fixed the entire world. If you took every billions of people on this planet, everybody just focused on themselves, you just
I fucking agree. I fucking agree, right? I've said that in almost the exact same way.
Yeah.
And then I think when you get to a place of being great or evolved, like there's going to be people that probably don't maybe evolve as high as you. There's always going to be people that are weaker. But when now you are in a position of enlightenment, and I don't mean that also just mentally or spiritually, you're like physically, then you can help the people that are not so fortunate.
Yeah.
That's the way you fix shit.
Yeah.
But again, that's hard work, brother, right? The fact when you said that you had that breakup, getting over that must have been tough.
Yeah.
And it would have been very easy for you to say, you know what? Fuck it. I just don't want to. I don't want to.
I almost did. That was my last, I used to battle like depression, like suicide and, stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that. But that was who I thought I was. That was who I used to be, when I was, that's what the alcohol used to have me doing, like they'd be like, oh, alcohol, man, I feel great when I'm drinking and I'm laughing and stuff. Mm-hmm. Not saying I don't drink now, but I don't drink to the point where I'm trying to get fucked up. Right? Yeah. And when I drink, it's like once every, 4 or 5 months or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at that time, I needed that pain though. Looking back on it, like I needed that pain in order to get me to change, to become who I am today. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes people I've heard the saying that people need to get to the bottom in order to start reaching for the top. But going back to your part, the fact that you were extremely depressed, perhaps suicidal, you decided to go the other way. So that's the fucking message in that. Some people are going to say, look at this guy was weak. He had a breakup. He was considering thoughts. To me, it's those kind of people. It's people like you that decided not to give up, decided to fight through the change, because change is a motherfucker. It's hard, man, but it's very easy to top out, as you fucking found out.
Yeah, the hardest things to do, man, those are the ones that are most rewarding, right? The hardest things in life, right? Those are the things that leads to the personal growth and leads to a better life, just, my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. And we were shit talking about that. Because I didn't know. Actually, let me go back to the Carmelo Anthony. One thing I just found out back, literally the guest before you, is that I was under the impression, and I do want to make sure that the information I'm getting is correct. I was under the impression that with their funding account, they made over $700,000. And I was under the impression that their lawyer was a public defender. That seems to be disproven. And the fact that they took their money and they spent it on a better house, a cruise, and a nose job. I thought it was for the grandmother. It turns out it was for the mother. And it turns out, allegedly, that that's all incorrect.
I heard the same thing, man.
I know, dude. I fucking know. And so when Tom was saying that, because he really investigated it, they were getting death threats. So they decided to move to a better gated community. So they used the money for that. They did not get the mother got a nose job. And I think he said, Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he said she didn't get it, but it was for the mother. They didn't book cruises and they didn't buy new cars. What I do know is that they're broke. So all the money they got is gone, because now Carmelo wants to appeal the decision of 35 years and they don't have the money to fight the appeal. So I imagine that they're going to have another funding account to fight for Carmelo's appeal.
But hold on, if they got funded $700,000, right? If that's
900.
900 now.
I mean, a public defender ain't gonna cost that much money. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they basically just pissed away his appeals money. But here's the thing: he, my opinion, man, he should be executed. Right?
I think you take a life, you should give a life. I'm more like the Avengers Endgame. Fucking when Black Widow fucking they wanted somebody back. I forget who it was, and Black Widow had to give her life back.
Yeah. It was Infinity Wars and stuff. And yeah. I mean, that was my opinion, and this is what.
Do you believe in capital punishment?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You take someone's life, your life should be ended. There shouldn't be. If there's irrefutable evidence that you did something, right?
Yep.
They got eyewitnesses, video times, and you could tell, you can verify it's not doctored, and AI, all of that stuff, right? And you got tons of. If it's open and shut, man, you just go in. Hey, he did it right there. Okay, walk him out back. Boom, 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 boom. Put him in the, whatever. Burn him, man. An incinerator is good. You're good to go. Like bada bing, bada bang. Yeah. Make it public.
Agreed. You got to teach a fucking lesson. That's part of the problem. I can only speak for Canada. There is no repercussions in Canada. There is some horrible shit happening, and the Liberal government wants bail. So that you did something wrong, okay, bail, no jail time. Bail, not jail is their fucking position on it. It's fucked up, dude.
But something I always think, and how do these people get in office?
That's the question.
You know what I mean?
Here's the question. So here in Canada, the Liberal government had a minority government, which meant that other parties could argue, if you want to push a bill, the other parties could argue against it, and then it may or may not go through. So what happened is now the Liberal government got a majority government, not by putting it to the people's vote, but by stealing people from the Conservative Party to cross the floor and come to the Liberal government. So, and there's some shady shit going on. There was one MP that her son was being charged with child pornography. All of a sudden, she crosses floors to the Liberal government, and that fucking case is gone, right? So this is the first time historically in Canada where the Liberal government has a majority without asking the Canadian public if that's okay. And now they can push through anything, bro. They can fucking do whatever they want without being questioned by other parties. It's fucked. To say nothing of the huge fucking taxes we pay.
Man, that's insane.
It is.
And it's that mindset, man. It's like cancer, man. Like,
it is.
I don't even know how to. Like I look at it, I'm like, dude, if it wasn't for Trump, right?
So obviously you're a fan of Trump.
Yeah, I like Trump.
Me too.
I mean, his policies make sense. You know, his temperament, I think, you know, he makes a good president. You know, there's a lot of like now, you know, you see a lot of like conservatives, those people that voted for him, they're like, man, he's not doing what he said he was gonna do. Dude, yes, he is. He's like, you know, back in the day, you know, I wasn't a fan, so I had to like look into him. You know? Especially when, you know, people were saying he's a racist, he's this and that. So okay, I went out, started looking, right? I started looking, you know, I bought some of his books, The Art of the Deal,
That's a great book.
Yeah, I've read it like 10, 20 times and stuff, right? And dude, he's been consistent with his messaging since the 80s.
Yep.
The 90s. Like everything he says is what he's doing. He's like, he's never
I've never seen evidence of him being racist.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he dated a black chick, man. I mean, how can you be racist dating a black? Dude, he was in the studios with Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah, I see.
Like,
yeah.
Like I've seen these videos, and I'm just like, dude, come on. Like I know I've seen some racism and shit, man. Yeah, he's not a racist. He don't like fucking stupid people, man. Like trash, man. You know.
But I'm the same way too, right? Like I don't care. And again, cliche. People are going to say, "Well, you're white." Of course, you're going to say you don't see color. But you could be an asshole and black, but you could equally be an asshole and be white. Yeah. So I'd rather just judge you on how you and I get along, man, as opposed to, you know, I just think that's a better way to conduct yourself. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, and this is just my opinion, right? I think people do, you know, when people say I don't see color, I mean, I see color. I see our differences. I see people, you know, like you could look at a female and be like, that's a female, right? It's like, you know, you can look at someone and be like, nowadays you don't know. But yeah. You can look at someone and be like, man, that person's overweight. That person's tall, right? You can see the differences, but I'm going to be cool with you based on how you act towards me. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I know you're black, dude. Yeah. I can see that, but I'm not going to say this guy's an asshole because he's black. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how I roll. And I think that's how society, man, we've gotten away from that, or maybe we were never like that. I don't know, but or maybe we're being trained to do that. I mean, obviously, look at this, the Carmelo Anthony. That is being publicized so heavily, and it's, dude, I did a video where there was black people going online saying it's time to start beating up white people, right? And I'm sure you've seen that. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah. There was a guy saying, you know, we should just start picking on elderly white men and young white women and just going up and beating the shit out of them. You motherfuckers, and it was in Texas. You guys have carry, right? You guys can carry in Texas. Yeah. Probably not the thing to do in Texas, where you're going to start going around popping off on people. But so then when you see that, that is what's being presented to the public. But then I like to think behind that. So first of all, if a white guy went on fucking social media saying it's time to pop off against black people, that shit would be shut down. So it's okay for a black person to say it's time to pop off against white people. Why is that being allowed? So what are they trying to do? Are you trying to start race wars? Okay. Why are you doing that? Right? It's not so simple. You get all these dumb motherfuckers saying, well, it's this black guy saying it's okay to beat up on white people. Yeah, that's what he's saying. But it's also being allowed to be seen. So why is that? What powers are at play that's okay? Yeah. Yeah, because they got control of the media, man. And the media is one of the most powerful apparatuses. For sure. If I can control the way you think, man, I've got you by the balls. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to me. Like, I love psychology, and I love to start seeing it's very easy just to accept things as they are, as opposed to taking a step back and thinking, well, why is that being allowed? Why is that happening? Yeah. And that shit's going to be interesting to see play out, man, because it's creating a lot of animosity, and I don't think that's healthy, and that's never going to go down a right path. I agree. I mean, that's why, you know, I stay in my lane. That's why, like, with my content, man, it's all over the place, man. I'll post That's also smart. Yeah. You know, like, I used to be in 2020, you know, some of it, you know, was funny, but a lot of it was angry because I was losing my shit. I was like, this guy just got in office. Like, I was like losing sleep. I was like, this guy can't even speak. This is the president, but there was no ill will, there was no hate. Like, I wouldn't have made no video like, I'm gonna execute, you know. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's. But what's crazy. Strange, what you just said. Had you said, you know, Biden not going to take him out, you'd be fucked.
Yeah.
But look how much we allow people saying, take out Trump, right?
Exactly.
Look what we allowed with Charlie Kirk.
Exactly. Yeah. When that stuff happened with Charlie, though, man, that shit, fuck. I was like, fuck, man. All he was doing was just having conversation. Like, we're having conversation, just debating people, man. And they took him out.
Do you think Tyler Robinson actually was the gunman?
My opinion, it's just too clean, man. It's just there's a bunch of shit. Just it doesn't make sense.
I agree.
Like at first, I was just like, okay, man, they got the guy. But then you start looking. You know, it's like you start pulling that thread, man.
Yeah.
You're just like, there's more to it, man. There's more to it. There's these little Patsy is just too clean and shit.
It's,
you know,
a little too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
the gentleman we had on yesterday, he actually works with Turning Point, right?
Yeah.
And I'm asking, I'm like, what do you think about Erica? They're like, do you think there's some questions that need to be asked there? And he was like, yeah, there's some shit. Dude, I don't see the problem asking questions if shit doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then when you tell me don't ask questions, then I'm like, oh, I really want to know now.
That's where it goes, man. And the thing is, too, especially with the way social media is set up, you got to be real careful about what you post, what you say, you know, because, you know, I love exposing stuff. I love putting stuff out there, but I've learned to kind of do it a little bit more like sarcasm, humor. And then, you know, I hate the fact that you got to watch certain words, keywords, man, because that's how they hit you, man, these algorithms and stuff.
Yeah.
And it you know, it's frustrating. You know, it's frustrating because you're like, man, I put in all this work building my brand. They can just
take it away, man.
Like nothing, man.
Yeah.
Like
That's why I think people that rely on social media as their sole source of income is making a big fucking mistake. Because like you said, that could go by this fucking button push of some blue-haired lesbian that fucking just like doesn't like your shit.
Yeah.
It's that's very scary.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with like, because they do it to me on Instagram, Facebook. You know, they'll push my stuff from time to time, but it's not where, you know, like you just see it because you could just
man,
like,
for sure.
Just, boom, you know, TikTok, man. You know, I have over 500,000. I used to have like 538,000 like 3 years ago, right? And it was going up. Then, you know, I got banned or whatever at that time, got my account back. And then, you know, I used to post videos that get hundreds, millions of views. Now I post them, I'll be lucky if I get like 5, 10 views, 500,000 plus followers, you know? And, you know, people be looking at me like, you buy your followers?
Yes, for sure. That discredits you, right? Because, but I do know there are some fucking powerful influencers out there that have bought their fucking followers.
Yeah, I know it happens. I've never done this though.
I just think I was told in the beginning that to do that fucks up your algorithm.
Yeah.
And recently, I think it was in March, where IG pulled, they went over everybody's account.
Yeah.
And there was people that lost hundreds, thousands, fucking millions of followers like that.
Yeah.
So I just think it's better to grow organically. At least it's being honest and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But it is fucked up.
Yeah. You're doing it right. I mean, you know, I always tell people, you know, because like, you know, because I've been doing social media since, you know, MySpace, like 20-some years, right?
Long time, bro.
And I built a brand, decent brand. I used to make money through YouTube and stuff. And then, you know, when all the little copyright little things started coming out, they started hitting you for profanity, just dumb shit, right? They took me off of their YouTube partner. I used to be a YouTube partner, right? You know,
okay, what is that? I don't know what that is.
That's when they pay you for video views.
Okay, but you're getting money. You're monetized on YouTube now.
Not anymore. They kicked me out. And
no shit.
Yeah, they took my account the first time in 2017, and that's when they took out my partnership, everything. So I kept, you know, emailing Google. It's like, hey, give me my account back. I didn't violate anything. Yada yada yada. Like it took like three months. You know, like they would deny it. Then one day, boom, got it back.
But it's not monetized.
It's not monetized. They won't let me monetize anymore.
What if you started a new account?
You know, it's just that work, man. You know,
yeah, I understand it, because then there's the like to build it up to that number again is such a grind.
Yeah. I had like 38,000 plus subscribers back then.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's down to, I lost like all of it. I got down to like 2,000. And then like,
that's fucking a lot.
Yeah. And then like in 1 year, I grew from 2,000, I'm up to like 19,000 now. Like,
it's good.
But I had 38,000. Like I should have like, you know.
No,
like
I get you.
You know what I mean?
I get
it's
it.
like.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it sucks. And part of the problem is you don't know the rule change. I had a guest on, and it was her opinion that vaccines cause autism, right? And I do very well with my views and followers and everything else. We posted that video of her opinion, and I think 2.5, 3 hours later, it's at 15 views. I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck does that math work? So we had to pull it simply because her opinion was vaccines cause autism. And I know many people that share that opinion.
Yeah.
So why is certain opinions okay and others are not, right? Give me the rules, bro. Like, what can I say?
I mean, it's an opinion. Like, even if they're like, oh, well, that's misinformation. Who? How? Prove it.
Right. That's my fucking opinion.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but they don't want discussions like that. They don't want conversations like that. Right. So that's why they have it set up the way that they have it set up, and they can control it. You know, that's why I always tell people, man, like, they're like, man, how do you grow? You know, because people come to me, how do you grow your brand? How do you, all of this stuff? What should I post and stuff? I'm like, post whatever you want, because you can get a celebrity. Let's say like I don't know, Nicki Minaj or something, or Cardi B, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's say she just makes an account somewhere and stuff, right?
Yep.
They're gonna push her stuff out there, right? Because she already has a brand. They're just gonna show her stuff to everybody, give her followers, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
Because this is what they do and stuff. And it doesn't matter if she's posting something about her drinking water. Like, they don't care. They're just going to push it out there to grow her account. So if they have the power to do that for her because, she has a brand or whatever, and they want, eyes on there. Joe Blow just starting an account. Yeah, you ain't going to get views unless they want you to get views. Right?
Yep, 100%. Both for and against that. Yeah. If they don't want you to have views, they're going to not send your shit out.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do, man, unless you own the product, right? You own the website, the platform,
Okay, so when you say your brand, how would you define your brand?
My brand is basically I'm an athlete, Navy veteran, opinionated vlogger, sarcastic individual. I've got merch. I've been able to monetize my content. Like, it's not Team Crew, my community on TikTok and stuff.
Nice.
But
surprised you haven't got fucking a cease and desist from Disney for Spider-Man.
Well, I got this alias, right? Black Spiderman, right?
Yeah.
Like back in '96.
It's funny because my striking coach is Black Hulk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. So I started the brand, like MySpace, right? When I made a MySpace in 2001, that was my username, Dub Black Spiderman, right? I used to use it, that was my tag, and that's how I built it. And it just started growing. I started my Twitter account, the Black Spiderman. Except Twitter is the Black Spiderm, but I got Black Spiderman on there. But because Twitter, for some reason, you can't add that extra 2 letters or whatever. They cut you off as. But everything's the Black Spiderman. So I've been able to build a brand. That's why I always tell people, man, it doesn't matter about followers, right? Because I should have like 80. Because I've been doing it so long, and just with minus all the bans, the shadow ban and suppressions, all of that, I should have like 80, 100 million followers.
Wow.
Across all platforms. Right? You can look me up, Twitter, X, YouTube, Pinterest, back when they had Google Plus, I was on there, Vine, I've been doing it for building it.
Why'd you pick Spider-Man, by the way?
It was an alias I had when I was in the military.
Why?
Well, I was going to get a Spider-Man tattoo initially in '96. And my best friend, right, he's a comedian. He's funny, right? He's like, the color, the red and green and stuff, or the red and blue, that's not going to show up on your skin, right? You should get like his original costume, right? His symbiote costume.
Yeah, Venom.
Yeah.
You like comic books?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So I thought about it, and he was like, and he was trying to be funny. He was like, yeah, you'll be the Black Spider-Man. I'd be like, yeah, it's kind of cool. Black Spider-Man. So I got the tattoo in 96, November of 96. But it wasn't because, you know, I'm black and, you know.
Clearly you are.
Yeah. Brown, actually, you know.
Yeah, I'm catching up to you.
Yeah,
yeah. I dig Venom. Venom's fucking badass.
Yeah, I got Venom tatted on my back. So I got Carnage right here, Venom on my back. So I use Venom to do Carnage. Right?
Yeah.
So if you know anything, you know the difference, right?
Yeah, of course.
Venom is Carnage, right? Maximum Carnage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then I got
That was
Carnage
a
on
great
my
series.
back. Yeah. Then I got Carnage on my back looking like Venom. So it says Maximum Carnage. And then Black Spider-Man. This was my first tattoo.
So like Spider-Man is like your, like the Spider-Verse, that's your, what about any other comics?
Spider-Man. I've read, I used to read a lot back when I was a kid and
Me
stuff
too.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I still collect comics.
My mom threw out all my comic books, man.
You should give her a slap. They'll ship. That's worth some money now, man.
I had some. I had the original, and it was in mint condition. The Fantastic Four when they first met Dr. Doom.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just bought that. Mint condition, dude. Like mine, because I have all my books. Like I recently sold a shitload of them. I think I sold like 700 comics, all graded, CGC graded, and I kept probably about 600. Right. So full run of X-Men, all the John Byrne shit.
Yeah.
I have a lot of shit signed by either the artist or, for example, if Guardians of the Galaxy, I had it signed by Dave Bautista. I have shit signed by Chuck Norris, Sylvester Stallone, the guy who played Bane, Hardy, I forget his name.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love comic books. I was a fucking nerd in high school. I was 15. Still collecting comics, started studying martial arts at 15 and 58, still reading comics, collecting comics, and still training.
Comics are bad, man. I love it, man. You know, like just being a superhero, right?
Yeah, we should all aspire.
Fighting for justice. And
so one last question for you. What do you want your legacy to be? If people want to, what do you want people to remember you for?
If I was to pass, he was a guy that brought a lot of people together, right? Opened up his platform because to allow people to be able to speak their truth, right? That's what my entire platform is on TikTok when I do panels and stuff is about. Like I want people to be open, to have conversation, even if it's hard, it's difficult, even if I don't agree with you. All right, we should be able to talk about it, man.
I agree.
We can yell at it, yell it out, whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, come some understanding. So legacy, he brought people together. He brought a lot of people together. That's what I want to be known for.
Fair. One final question. What's your favorite sub?
Favorite sub?
Submission. What do you like to
submission? Kimura.
Really?
Yeah, Kimura was that was one of the first submissions I learned. And that's it took me all the way.
From mount or
from side control.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but I can get it anywhere. I can get it from guard, half
guard for
whatever.
sure.
Yeah. But I get you in side control. I'm pressing you. You know, the pressure, top pressure.
Well, what do you weigh right now? You're a big motherfucker.
I'm about 230. You know, trying to get down to 220. But you know that food, man.
Yeah.
But when I used to compete, I used to weigh. I was about 180 to 195. So I used to be the smallest person in my weight class.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't want you on top.
Yeah, that's what most of them say once they get that pressure, that shoulder pressure and shit.
Yeah. I like digging my fucking head into people.
Yeah.
Like a rhino.
Yeah.
That's the shit. You know what? I've never been subbed like this until fucking, I think it was Saturday. You ever been gas masked or mufflered? So basically someone's got your back and they pinch your nose and they put their hand over your mouth.
Yeah.
Stop you. Oh, I fucking hate it, man.
Hey, cover them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do all that stuff. I mean,
that's nasty
white belts,
shit.
White belts, blue belts. I do it all to them, man. I mean, you gotta do that when you're training with someone, especially someone a lower belt, right? I wouldn't do that to a higher belt unless we train for years. And stuff like that, just out of respect. But lower belts, we got to put you through that pressure just to get you to relax and stuff, calm down. Like, look, you ain't gonna get out of this unless I want you to get out of this. You know what I mean?
That's a hard lesson to learn, dude. There's some subs that I am only going to survive because you let me go. That's a motherfucking lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. We're out.